UNP has been active in the opposition even after the 220 elections. My going into parliament means that there's also parliamentary representation there. Though we've also had parliamentary representations. But the UNP has been active. I think we have some of the most active people in the Port Commission bill, issues on Singharaj. A fair number has been taken up. Unfortunately, they don't receive all the coverage. But online, you could see that we've been very, very focused on issues. And this is only extension of that role of one person going into parliament. UNP is one party that went to the last parliamentary elections with a solution for how to handle COVID at that time. Even after the results, we came with a very concrete plan. Similarly on the economy, similarly on the environment, we had a whole lot of them. And we want to carry it forward. At that time, people didn't look at it. But there is solutions and the UNP is credible. Parties' support last time stemmed from the hardcore UNPers, but a large number, about 2 million, did not vote. They had the option of voting against us. They thought you're not worth going in to vote. But remember, the vote base in Sri Lanka for all parties are now changing. 2019 was a watershed, but after that, what we have in the next time, 223 or 224, is going to be quite different. And if you don't look at a new, there are a lot of new voters coming in with new thinking. So we can't take 219 as the base for working. No, we'll be taking first up the main issues of the people and push the government to make some, give some concessions. Look at COVID itself, it's still out of control. And now, in addition to all the health authorities, you have the intelligence agencies also getting involved. That is no solution. Secondly, on the economy, then the long-term consequences of Express Pearl. So, like the education breakdown, so all these issues are adding up. It will come together. Solutions are, we'll come out with it. But at the moment, there has to be some relief to the people. What we are going to do 3-4 years hence, okay, that's good, people want to know. But what is it that if we can do something for them immediately, we should do that. And that's mainly by the opposition putting on pressure and forcing the government to at least acknowledge these problems and to take some measures for it. At the moment, people have lost confidence in parliament and the political parties. It's a dangerous situation. If there's a, say, election today, it will just, some will just stay at home saying we are not going to get COVID. It's how the parties build up from now onwards. The port to a base of 2019 won't be there anymore. They have to form a new base. I am not discussing what the SJB has to do. If they want to fight with me, let them fight, but I am not fighting with them. I am not dictatorial. I mean, look at the charges made against the present president. What are the promises we didn't deliver? If you tell me one by one, I'll explain it. 100 days is a short one, but we brought the 19th Amendment. Remember, I gave you and ensured you had a free country, that you could all blackguard me and throw me out. But you haven't got that now. And the media is afraid to stand up and say so. As far as I am concerned, I ask you, what is it that I have failed? I will answer. Look at the economy. I left you all better off. Every household is better off in 2019. Is that a failure? We had freedom. Is that a failure? We had the ambulance program. We had the new school building program. We put a lot of money into education and health. That's why health is holding forth. Whatever the minister wanted, we found the money. The two ministers wanted, we found the money. We gave them. We expanded university education, the road system. So tell me, what is it that we haven't done? I think it became very critical after the Easter bomb. And secondly, I did not run for the presidency. They went on the programs of two new people, President Rajapaksa and Sajith Premadasa. So my record was not up for discussion. No, I think the Easter bomb certainly had some adverse impact. People are questioning why, when the information was available from India, we hadn't acted, what we are going to do. So that had an adverse effect. It had its own ethno-religious consequences also. But then two new candidates came, and none of them ever put forward the work that we have done. So it still has gone unanswered. No one has really put to test. Two new candidates, even Mr. Sajith Premadasa or Gotabaya Rajapaksa, no one sort of tried to claim to point out there has been a success and we are building on it. So there was no one who really, this was never put to test. If say someone came on the Yahapalne government record, then it's different. And then President Maithripala subsequently joined with the Pohottu after the results. So that's left. The Yahapalne government has that as a national level has never been put to test. That didn't happen, so I answered that. What I would have done if I'm the candidate, I would have spoke, but I was not the candidate. So I supported Mr. Sajith Premadasa. So that's a hypothetical question. Well, they felt there should be a new candidate which could get supported by the others, and they went along. But JVP and President Maithripala Sirisena didn't support us this time. I don't bother to talk about the leader of the opposition. Already I am getting attacked, but I don't get into controversies. So let it be whether the leader of the opposition or leader of the JVP or leader of the TNACs. We'll work together with all the parties in the opposition who are willing to work on some common subjects. But there will be also times when they'll want to go their own ways. It's a decision of every party. What do they want to do? What are the common issues that they go along on? But I have to speak to the whole parliament, and I have to speak to the whole country, because people are getting fed up of this normal type of name calling on both sides and nothing else happening. No, there is a new set. They have put up new there have been a new leadership, new positions. Whenever they are ready, they can take it. I have no problems at all. I've told them that. I didn't want to go to Parliament. It was they who were suggesting. I am not the opposition leader. I don't want to get into that controversy. I am quite secure as I am. I am not getting into that controversy at all. If someone wants to create that controversy, they can create it. You have to be neutral. Not to take sides means having good relations with all the countries. India is our neighbor. We had thousands of years of cultural relationship. We have to maintain good relations with them. China has been a long, and Japan and China have been two of our closest friends. United States. Then we have West Europe. It's UK, EU. We have Bangladesh and Pakistan, Maldives, ASEAN countries. So we should keep friendship with all of them. But if you start breaking away from some of them, like this government has done, away from India, away from Japan, away from the Western countries, then you'll be accused of taking sides. I am not saying that I am against China. I am very much for working with China. I am very much for working with Japan. Very much for working with India. It's all inclusive one. Multilateralism is what we are looking at. Look at education. What are the concrete measures you are taking for the students? Whole issue of fertilizer and people not being able to cultivate this season. The bungling of Express Pearl, if they had taken action by 22nd, you could avoid all this. So these are three areas I can talk of. The stories of the sugar talk, the coconut oil issues, then the moving out of the Sri Lanka Administrative Service. So there are many other issues to be spoken of. No, I think we have gone and, we want to use the term, messed the whole thing up. I mean, we resolved the issue. After all, it's not us who went to the Human Rights Council. It was an agreement between the then President Mahinda Rajapaksa and Ban Ki-moon in May 2009. And we got into trouble. We sort of extracted Sri Lanka out of it. If we had carried that on, by now they would have ceased to be issues. They were not, we went and created the issues again. Then to make it worse, we go and praise North Korea. I don't think anyone early has done that type of thing. Then you are fighting with them. So, basically, government has to improve its record on human rights, running after members of parliament, trying to lock them up, calling them into the police stations just because they criticize the government. Look, when that happens, people will mark Sri Lanka as not being a full democracy. We had the counter-terrorism bill ready. Then the Easter Sunday broke out and we had to immediately act under PTA. But when that phase was over, we should have brought in the counter-terrorism bill, which, I mean, basically we've gone on the experience of the European countries. The Prevention of Terrorism bill was what we got from UK, their 1974 law. The present one also, we looked at the United Kingdom laws, and they had replaced PTA with counter-terrorism. We got their assistance, we brought it in. So that itself. The other one, fake news, I have not seen it, but I don't know why they are getting so worried. They landed so much of fake news before 2019 that their victory partly is on fake news. But what exactly is fake news is something, let them come up with the bill, then we, and the proposal, then we'll act on it. But is the media ready to stand up? Media is telling everyone else to stand up, but they are not standing up. So then people will ask, why should we stand up? Except for the online people. Online are already, the guys are, the people are taking on a big campaign against it there. I must say that in fairness to online, but what's the rest of the electronic and the print media doing? You show the way, we are all prepared to follow you. I don't think we can draw similar to Xinjiang and the problems there. Far as this is concerned, this was unnecessary for Sri Lanka. We didn't want it, we didn't have any problems. This was just to extend the hold grip of the government. And that's where the opposition should have come both from inside parliament and outside. Still, we can work out a democratic way, and if we are more vocal and if we are more organized, it will be so. But the question is, what is the media going to do? Everyone asks, what's the UMP going to do? Okay, but we are prepared to fight it. Tell us, what is the media going to do? Do you want to have a free ride on us? For many instances, when we taken it up, it has not even been reported in the media. Social media has, and the guys have started a fight, I must say. But others are not doing it. No, consequence is going to make life far more difficult for most of you. Economy will take a longer time to recover. What we should do, I will certainly mention in Parliament, talk about it. Yeah, we did a lot of measures which at that time even the media didn't support. We went up with the IMF, we got this done. MCC came, we were attacked. Everything we did, we were attacked. So now we have to face it.